Welcome back to Peace, Love and Tarot. This reading is for Scorpio, Sun, Moon or Rising. And Scorpio, this is your weekly intuitive tarot reading for April 20th to the 26th. This week we have the Share Your Voice Oracle card and the Sahasrara Oracle card from the Yogic Path deck behind that. Yes, we do have the Tower. We have the Queen of Cups, the Four of Pentacles, the Energy of Death, Justice, and the Queen of Swords. So Scorpio, I think this might be the third week in the row that the Death card, which is actually your card, has shown up in the reading. So there is definitely an ending taking place here, but it's an ending of empowerment because this is you showing up in your own reading. I feel like there obviously is a tower that needs to fall, and I think for some of you the reason why this Death card is continuously coming into the reading is that I feel like there might be some resistance to the ending and a need to feel like you have to hold on or to tighten your grip. But when the Tower is in a reading, you know, there really isn't any way to hang on, and we must let that fall. So that's really what you're being asked to do this week, is to loosen your grip and to allow it to fall, because there is a justice here that is going to be served, right? And yeah, it's all about a sense that maybe there is some truth that's going to come to light, or a communication that's going to take place that might be just what actually pushes that tower over the edge this week to fall. But, you know, we've also got that beautiful Queen of Cups energy there, is that, you know, rebalancing kind of compassionate force that is there to sort of bring you into the calm afterwards. So really powerful energies. We'll see how that plays out. Let's go to the Oracle cards first. So we do have the Share Your Voice Oracle card, which I'll get to in a minute. It just ties in like really well with the Queen of Swords. But with the Sahasrara Oracle card here from the Yogic Path deck, this is the crown chakra, guys. So some of you might be, you know, getting intuitive hits this week. It can mean that you might be getting some sense of downloads or intuition. So if you are, definitely listen to those. Try and take some time in a moment of stillness. Obviously, a lot of us are in self-isolation and away from distractions, so you might actually be hearing your higher voice, the voice of your higher self a lot more, or getting visions and things like that if you are a little bit that way inclined. For some of you, that might be opening up for the first time ever. So just pay attention to those, because there can be, you know, really useful information in them. It can also just mean that you're, you know, connecting in a deeper sense with your spirituality, your guides, your religion, whatever you believe in as well. So it's a really beautiful oracle card. Now we also have the Share Your Voice oracle card here as well, which can indicate that there is a communication on your heart that needs to be shared. You might have been suppressing it for a while. Is there a conversation that needs to happen? Maybe that's what's going to bring this tower down. The Queen of Swords is also about communicating truth, you know, speaking authentically, you know, speaking from a place of the heart and with integrity and honesty as well. So I will just read that one out, guys, and then we'll go to the tarot. So Share Your Voice. Come out of the cage, persecution, expression. You're being called to share your voice, perhaps by speaking up in a relationship, or through writing, speaking, singing, or some other form of creative expression. We each hold a truth deep within us that longs to be expressed. Sculpted for lifetimes, the voice of your soul is like no other. It carries with it wisdom that can only be gained through soul history and growth. By remembering, tapping into, and expressing this unique tone, we not only heal ourselves, but we heal the planet at large. When you share your voice, you unlock something in the universe and call a missing piece of you home. Your individual voice is the most powerful sound current on the planet. If you had kept your soul's voice silenced or held back, chanting, singing could really be truly life-changing for you. Yeah, so it's really about speaking up this week, guys, and I do feel that there is something that needs to be shared. There's some information that needs to be communicated to bring this tower down, because I feel like this tower has been waiting to fall for a while. But like I said before, I was definitely getting a sense of resistance, resistance to change. You know, the tower is the biggest card of change in the tarot deck. It can be sudden change. Like often the tower is imposed on us. You know, obviously at the moment with what we're going through, the tower for some people is, you know, losing their job, their way to make money, which is obviously very terrible. It can be the strain of self-isolation on relationships causing those towers to fall. But I'm really sensing that maybe you are the person that's going to bring this particular tower down, and it's not so related to the forced hand situations that we've been in at the moment. And I think that's why I felt compelled to pair this with the Four of Pentacles, because there's a sense of this tower needs to fall, but you kind of have been holding off because you don't really want to go through it. Like, I mean, the tower will be different for everyone. It could be that a relationship that needs to end, you need to have that truthful heart-to-heart conversation. There's the Justice card here as well. So for some of you, it could be seeking justice in a situation, a legal situation. And obviously, it's not nice to go through that. And you know that once you crack open that door or take the lid off that can, obviously, it explodes, and there can be resistance to allowing that to happen. So some of you might have been kind of holding on and sort of hunkering down for a while and wondering, when really is the time to open this thing, to, take your feet off these pentacles, to let it all out. For some of you, it could relate to a situation of finances as well, and this could also indicate that you've been holding tightly to your financial resources, or some of you might have to invest financial resources in order to bring down this tower and seek the justice as well. But what we have to remember, guys, is that the tower is a blessing in disguise. It is like when the universe hears that call from within, that you need to share your voice, it kind of orchestrates a situation for you to bring it down. And it says that whatever the situation is that's coming down, it was built on a shaky foundation anyway. So it's only a matter of time. And that's why we need to let it fall, because if we resist and we keep, patching it up, putting some more, bricks and mortar up there, or rebuilding the tower, that's when we just find ourselves 6 months, 12 months, 2 years down the track with the tower about to fall again, and we've wasted the time that we could be getting on to other things. We could be on purpose, because that's why the tower is a blessing in disguise, because it comes down to create space to get you back onto your life path, to get you back on track with what you're truly supposed to be doing. Towers can also just be really massive revelations within ourselves, seeing truths. A lot of us obviously have more time on our hands and might be seeing things for how they really are. And that could be your tower, taking a whole new perspective on life. So either way, this is the week to let go, to put your foot on the accelerator, to accept this falling tower and to not resist it. That's what I'm truly, really feeling here. With the Four of Pentacles, just another side note, there is, fours really relate to our sense of stability and security. So maybe you might be worried that, if you kind of let this tower fall, that you're going to lose a sense of stability or financial security for a short period of time. But remember, it's just like a short-term loss for a much greater gain. And the reason why I'm seeing that, you need to allow this to fall, guys, is because, obviously we have that Death card in the reading. It is really final. This is definitely an ending that has to happen. We'll get to the Death card, but yeah, I mean, it's time for you to serve this justice, Scorpio. Look at this. Two really powerful figures here holding that sword of victory. Death, you could say, flies the flag of victory. It is time. Now, the Queen of Swords, what I love about her is that she is a sharpshooting, clear communicator. And it really links in with that Oracle card, like I've mentioned before. But she has the ability to see the big picture, to have that sense of clarity, to be able to join the dots and to know that she's in the right in bringing this into justice, because she sits on that cliff top and she has this 360-degree vantage point. She has the eagle eye perspective. So I really feel, Scorpio, that you're not going into this situation with guns blazing, on a whim. I really feel like you've done your homework, you've collected your information, and you can see how it fits together. And that there, is the sense of you knowing the truth. The Queen of Swords can reveal truth. She's a truth seeker. So there also could be a piece of the puzzle that comes to light this week that completes the picture, that really allows you to go, you know what, now it's time to light the dynamite under that tower, and I know I've got all the pieces I need to put my cards on the table. She's also that communicator, so it could be the fact that this week you have the communication that really brings things to a head as well. But I see you in a really good position to do that. And, you know, having all the pieces of the puzzle before you're going into this, having all the information, being in that position before you speak up and share your voice, you know, that is truly transformative. You know, we've got two cards of transformation in this reading. The Death card is one of the powerful major arcana of transformation. The Queen of Swords wears the butterfly crown as well, because through seeking truth and communicating her heart, she transforms the situation and she seeks the justice that she requires. And the justice energy here, you know, it's here this week to help you really bring this fair and just modification to the situation. It's about bringing the universal scales of life back into balance. So that means that justice doesn't work out for the person who wants it. This is karmic justice. So it works out for the person who, you know, who it should. In terms of that universal balance sheet that always adds up. That's the justice energy. It's not just for the person that seeks it. It's for the person that is operating from that place of honesty, from that place of integrity. And, you know, justice does have that link to legal proceedings. So some of you might be, you know, trying to bring something through the courts. It can be in terms of relationship, divorce, separation agreements. Could be with a property as well. You know, obviously a lot of us might be seeking information on mortgages, how to make ends meet with mortgage payments, getting out of a rental agreement, maybe signing up for a rental agreement, work contracts as well, seeing what your rights are if you've been let go, for final payments, all of those kinds of things. That is the justice energy, guys. And it's saying that the timing is right because, you know, you have the information you need. It is time to get this over the line. And I do see you being truly victorious in this as well. So it's, yeah, these are really huge energies, like 1, 2, and 3. This is definitely the energy of bringing something to a really big ending here. Yeah, so let's go here now. So Death and the Queen of Cups. Yeah. Okay, so the Death card. The ending is final, and the slate is being cleared for you, Scorpio. Now, with the Death energy, when I see this card, and I've probably said it the last 2 weeks in a row because I think it was there, so I'm going to repeat it. There's nothing more certain in life than that cycle of, you know, birth, death, and rebirth. This is going to be a sense of rebirth for you. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, you're just maybe going to feel, you know, reborn and young and all that sort of thing again. It's metaphoric, right? So when you go through any kind of ending and you cut energetic cords, you create space. And when there's energetic space, it can be filled with new beginnings, new opportunities, and you actually magnetize them because, you know, you're giving off that vibe that you're completely clear of a situation that might have been holding you back. So death comes in to clear the slate. It's about, you know, creating space for this whole new dawn, new day to start of a new chapter. And again, with that kind of going back to that holding on energy, if you see the child and the adult here, the adult's kind of feigning away, going, oh, not you, death again, because I've met you before. You've ended another season for me in my life, whether it was a relationship or a job or whatever. This adult here knows that death can be painful. It can bring the hurts with it. Whereas the child has this kind of ignorant bliss of like, oh, who are you? You look, you know, interesting. I might want to play with you. And the child just surrenders and embraces it. So there's a message here that we need to be like the child. We need to forget that there is pain associated sometimes with endings, because we don't get to new beginnings unless we go through an ending. You know, if every breakdown is a breakthrough, there's always something better on the other side, but sometimes we just have to fall a tower first. And there will be transformation. Death flies that flag of spiritual alchemy. So it is a really beautiful card, and the best thing about death cards showing up in a Scorpio reading is that generally, you know, especially with the Justice card here, this is you and your power. This is your card and your energy. So I see you coming out on top here. And just a reminder with the Queen of Cups, you know, just to keep your sense of compassion, humility, empathy for both yourself and maybe the other party that you're going through this with. Just remember that whoever you're dealing with is also human. You know, I'm not saying just to be a complete soft touch, but just keep that sense about you. The Queen of Cups could also mean that you are moving into a place of being a lot more emotionally grounded, after the Tower moment, which could have shaken you up quite a lot. The Queen of Cups has the ability to sit on the shoreline with a foot right in the emotional waters of life, but she remains grounded, stable, and unshakable. So there's this message here that I think that you're going to actually come into a place of greater emotional stability quite quickly after this ending. You know, the Queen of Cups is somebody who holds her emotions in this beautiful gilded cup, and she chooses when she lets them out and processes them. She doesn't let the emotions of the situation and the triggers derail her or put her into a sense of emotional stability. So that's something to watch as well. Just staying grounded, staying emotionally in control, using your emotional intelligence tools, you know, your emotional self-management, emotional awareness of people around you and your environment and that kind of thing. And I feel that that is the key to bringing this to a graceful finish, right? We've got the Tower. It could be quite explosive, it could be tumultuous, but you can hold your dignity and you can hold your sense of grace as you're going through that. Big, big energies. Okay, Scorpio, I'm going to just draw a keyword from these little cards here that I've got to close out the reading. I'm just going to give them a little bit of a shuffle. Whoops. Okay, we're going to have that one and one more. Oh, integrity. Well, we were talking a lot about integrity before, weren't we? I will draw one more just because that one just was a flyer. Let's draw one more and then let's talk quickly about them. This one. Detail. Yeah, okay. So as I was saying before, this is about, when you're going through this justice situation, is operating from a place of integrity. Make sure that you've got all your information, operate from a place of heart, and don't forget that the devil is in the detail. And that's, you know, about that Queen of Swords, gathering the information, making sure you've got your I's dotted and your T's crossed before you go into a situation where you're bringing something to justice. That is the key this week. So these are just so fitting to end it. Operate from a place of honesty and integrity. Remember the devil's in the detail. Have all the information and let go and let this tower fall. Okay, Scorpio, I'm going to leave it there for you. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Do keep in mind it's a general reading, so it won't be for every one of you guys. Feel free to leave me a comment because I always love to know how it's resonating and playing out in your daily life. And all the best with it, of course, because there's a big energies, and we'll see you back here next week for another reading.